Hello friends, welcome back to the video series in Oracle SQL Programming. In the previous video, we have already demonstrated how to retrieve data from any table. In this video, we would check how to sorting the data when retrieving the data from table, and this is done by the order by clause with select statement. Order by clause to sort data. This order by clause will accept either the column name or the alias name or the column sequence number which we are passing in the select statement. Order by must be the last clause of the select statement. Now order by clause must be added as the last clause in the select statement. That is, there may be number of clauses present in the select statement, but order by must be the last clause, and as the order of execution, order by would be executed at last. So proceed all these things with practical way. Open the SQL Plus. Enter the username as system and the password is password throughout the video series. Now we are connected to the Oracle database. At first, clear the screen. Now we are typing a statement. Select EMP ID, comma, the first name, comma, last name, comma, salary, cross 12, annual salary as the alias, and that is from employee. The employee is the name of the table. Press enter. If we execute this statement, we would get all the records available to the table and also for the particular columns. But as you know, EMP ID is the primary key here. The output of records would be on the basis of ascending order of primary key values. That means here we have selected only 4 columns from the employee table: EMP ID, first name, last name, and salary cross 12, that means an expression, and the annual salary, that one is an alias. So the output is based on those 4 columns, and we know the EMP ID is the primary key in the employee table. So the total 26 records or rows has been given here as the output. That one is based on the ascending order of the EMP ID, that particular column, because EMP ID is the primary key here. So that's why 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106 in that way up to 126. That means based on the primary key. Now, if we want to sort the data by any other column, then we should use the order by clause. And for that, we are here using the same statement. That means select EMP ID, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, salary, start 12 with the alias annual salary from employee. But after that, we have to use the order by the column, that is first name, semicolon, press enter. Now you would find the output as sorted by the alphabetical ascending order of the first name, that particular column. Now here we can check Arjun is at the first, that means A, then the D, then G, then K, once again after that the R, and after that the final one is the S, in that way. So that means the output as sorted by the alphabetical ascending order of the first name column. Now suppose we want to sort the output data based on a column which has not been selected here. but is present in the table, such as one column is the DPT ID, which is not selected here, but we can sort the output also based on that column DPT ID. At first, check what is the really name of the column. So DESC employee, and here the name of the column is DPT ID. So we are once again using the same statement and then order by DPT ID, semicolon, and press enter. Check the output. It has been basically sorted out by the DPT ID column, and already we have the 26 records selected. Basically the output once again based on the column department ID. Yet now we have sorted out the output based on the column name, either it is present in the selective column lists or select statement or not present. We can also sort out the output based on the alias of any column name. Here we have an alias as annual salary, and we can sort out the output based on that also. And for that we are using the same statement once again. Select EMPID, first name, last name, salary star 12, annual salary from employee, and here the alias is the annual salary, and here we are using the order by the name of the alias, that means annual salary, semicolon, press enter. Sorry, the wrong thing was, it must be annual salary. So that is order by annual salary. Now you can check the output is based on the ascending order of the annual salary. First one is the 46,800, then 64,800, then 1,08,000, then 1,20,000. In that way, the final one is the 4,08,000. Now note that by default it is sorted out by the ascending order. If we want to sort out by the descending order, just add the keyword DESC, that means for descending, at the end of the last statement. So that means we have to use that one, order by annual salary, and here we are using DESC. Press enter. The error is there, so it must be DESC. So here the output is based on the annual salary, that means the name of the alias, but in the descending order, because we have used the keyword DESC after annual salary, that particular statement. Now another way to sort out the output according to the sequence of the selected columns. Here we have the selected columns as EMPID, then first name, then last name, then salary star 12. So according to the sequence, EMPID is 1 or in the first position, first name as second position or 2, last name as the third position or 3, salary star 12 is in the fourth position or as 4. So if we want to sort out on the basis of last name column, we can use 3 instead of the name of the column last name. Let's check. So we can use order by and simply the 3. Press enter, and once again we have 26 rows or record selected, but that is based on the alphabetical order of the column name, that is last name. So B, D, G, K in that way. Now let's talk about multiple column sorting. Check now, when we are sorting on the basis of annual salary, multiple records have the same value. Such as here we have for the employee ID 108 and 119, both have the same annual salary 155,844. Now we want to sort the first name of the records who have the same amount of salary, and that would be sorted and more precisely with the alphabetical order. In that case, the statement would be the same from the select EMP ID first name last name salary star 12 annual salary from employee, and then we have order by, we are using the annual salary, that particular alias, and then comma the first name, semicolon, and look here, the first name is here the second column. So press enter. So what happens? Here at first sorting is based on the annual salary. That means we have sorted the data on the basis of the ascending order of the annual salary. And then within that sorting, once again it is sorted by the first name and obviously in alphabetical order. Let's check. We have 108 and 119. These two employees have the same annual salary, and the annual salary has been sorted in the ascending order. The S is at first, SA is at first, then SU, because we have sorted the data at first on the annual salary and then on the base of the first name, that means in alphabetical. So that's why Shajan is at the first, then Shumanto is at the second, or in the alphabetical order. So this is how we can sort out the data using select and the order by. In the next video, we will discuss on the filtering of the data.